Good afternoon. It's Sunday, Parshas Pinchas Yid Gimel Tammuz Tov Shin Pei Vov, June 28th, 2026. My name is Gershy Schwarcz and welcome to an On Edge special breaking news report.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.
Well, today's breaking news report is sponsored to you by Lemonade. Lemonade Kosher Supermarket, the supermarket of the Catskills in Liberty, New York. You should know, when you go up to the mountains now, for the summer, Lemonade is your place to go. We'll talk about them soon. But let's start, first of all, with Iran, because they had a little bit, let's call it a little bit of a misunderstanding of a memorandum. The memorandum of a misunderstanding, I would say. The ceasefire broke. On Shabbos, a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz was hit by an explosive drone. That was the second one in a row. President Trump obviously blamed Iran, and America hit back very hard. That happened on Friday, actually, the first one, and the second one happened over Shabbos. In his words, on Truth Social, the United States aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. Yes, and then this morning, Sunday morning, Iran answered. Iran fired drones and missiles at two American allies, Kuwait and Bahrain. Kuwait says it shot down two ballistic missiles with no injuries reported. In Bahrain, a drone hit an 8-story apartment building near the airport, tearing off the top floor. Baruch Hashem, nobody was killed, they say. Bahrain is home to the American Navy's 5th Fleet, but the building hit was not even near the base. There was one death, though, in Qatar. A Qatari man was killed and another wounded when their boat was hit by shrapnel at sea. Qatar did not confirm if it was connected to the Iranian attacks, obviously. Iran is now threatening to walk away from the peace talks completely. Well, obviously, I can imagine that, right? And President Trump is threatening right back. And he warned that if this doesn't stop today, the Iranian regime could be wiped out entirely. Every Arab country in the Gulf is obviously condemning Iran right now and angry. What set it off was simple. Iran's demanded control over the Strait of Hormuz for 30 days. That's what Arakchi said. So America and Oman opened a new shipping lane that goes around Iran completely. Iran saw that as a crossing red line. At home, Iran is hurting. The inflation just hit 88%. Now, to something strange out of Iraq. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Arakchi, flew to Baghdad this weekend to thank Iraq for standing with Iran and to plan the funeral for Iran's killed leader Ali Khamenei, and he arrived with an American car. Interesting. His whole, crew, the whole escort arrived there, and they obviously visited the site where I think Qassam Soleimani was killed. But on that very same morning, Iraq's new government did the opposite. Iraqi special forces locked down the green zone in Baghdad and arrested a wave of politicians, dozens by some reports, they say. The reason given is corruption, but many of those arrested are tied to the Iranian regime, which is very interesting. Yes, Iraqi's new prime minister is backed by America and heading to Washington soon. As you know, Trump obviously endorsed him and he wanted him to win. So while Iran's foreign minister was in town shaking hands, Iraq was busy arresting Iranian friends, and they found stocks of cash and weapons and other things that they had connections to Iran. So now in Israel and Lebanon, let's go back. On Friday in Washington, America and Israel and Lebanon finally signed a new framework agreement, which was an amazing thing, an amazing achievement. The idea is for Hezbollah to disarm and for the Lebanese army to take over the south. But Hezbollah flatly rejected it, and the leader Naim Qassem called it null and void and a shameful surrender. Over the weekend, Hezbollah supporters rioted Beirut, burnt tires and blocked the road by the airport. Workers had to put up signs, obviously Lebanon first, with signs thanking Iran signs used to hang there thanking Iran. And obviously the rioters set them on fire. A senior Hezbollah lawmaker warned that enforcing the deal would mean a civil war. And even as they talk peace, the fighting hasn't stopped. Overnight, the Hezbollah gunmen opened fire on Golani soldiers entering a building in the village of Deir Syrian. It's called. One soldier, Captain David Hazut, 21 years old only, was killed, and another one was wounded. The army tracked them down, obviously, this gunman, and killed him later in the day. And the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz, made it very clear that the army is not leaving. They will hold the security zone in the south until Hezbollah is fully disarmed. And they said they cannot really trust the Lebanese army right now as we speak, because the Lebanese army is heavily, I would say, poisoned with Hezbollah members in there. You cannot know who is who. You cannot trust them completely. So they're giving them a chance to try with a pilot program, but that means that they're watching them with close eyes, seeing if they can actually carry out what they need to be able to disarm Hezbollah. There was also news from Gaza this weekend. An Israeli army in the ship killed a senior Hamas terrorist named Walid Haniya. He was the nephew of Ismail Haniya, the former head of Hamas. And he helped, obviously, lead the October 7th massacre in Sukkot and personally directed the terrorists who dragged Yidden into Gaza as hostages. Lately, he had gone back to recruiting and training new terrorists until the army caught up with him. The Israelis are now claiming that Hamas is rebuilding itself. And one more strange one from this weekend, obviously. A new report says Israeli defense companies have quietly sold advanced weapons to Qatar and Saudi Arabia, even though Israel has no official relationships with either country. The Israeli company Elbit fitted air defense systems onto planes of Qatar's royal family to protect them from missiles. And both Qatar and Saudi Arabia got Israeli-made battle helmets and night vision gear for their fighter jets. Here's the irony. When Qatar's emir flew to Tehran last year, to Israel's biggest enemy, his plane was protected by an Israeli air defense system. And finally, a quick update from Venezuela, which is very sad. The death toll from Wednesday's two giant earthquakes now climb to close 1,500, 1,500 killed. Tens of thousands are still missing. We're talking about close to 61,000. And we are 4 days in, past the window when most survivors are even found. Well, I don't even know that, but there are still miracles. Rescue workers still pulled out a baby out alive, saved two boys trapped for days, and even dug a dog out of the rubble. More than 1,600 rescue workers from around the world have come, including teams from Israel's Zaka and Israel Aid. The local Jewish community has launched a $2 million appeal, with hundreds of families now living in shelters, obviously. Let's hope and daven that they find more alive. You never know. And that's the latest for this Sunday's report today, my friends. And I hope you all find peace and quiet and some good news, obviously. Yeah, anyway, this is the breaking news segment for the day. And let's thank, obviously, Lemonade Supermarket, which is your supermarket in Catskills in Liberty, New York. Yes, they supply all kind of produce, organic produce, baked goods, and as well, regular grocery needs. Sushi, they have a pizza, they have a deli, they have what's it called? They have they have a cafe, coffee, and all kind of goodies. They have their on-site parking, a bakery. The address is 261 North Main Street, Liberty, New York, 12754, and that's the zip code. And the number is 845-218-1244. Again, the number is 845-218-1244, and you can listen to this.
Lemonade hat noch einmal Tour, als sie so gerne shoppen und ganz Fuhr. Shop down there, shop down there, shop down there, lemonade. Shop your way, shop your way, shop your.
Thank you so much, and we'll see each other from tomorrow on the regular daily news.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.